Good evening, everyone. My name is Giovanna James. I'm the lead counselor here at Plano Senior High School. Thank you for logging in this evening. We're just going to talk for a little bit about the PSAT. I have some information to share with you just so that you, as parents and students, can better understand what the PSAT is, what to expect, and then how this will lead into the SAT that our juniors will be taking. So again, my name is Giovanna James. I'm the lead counselor here at Plano Senior, and my target audience is juniors, parents, and students who are in 11th grade. So if you are a 12th grader, then this conversation is directed at our 11th graders who will be taking the PSAT in October and then the SAT again in March. If you're a 12th grader and you're looking for some testing opportunities, I encourage you to reach out to your counselor to get information on how you can take the SAT again. But we're going to be talking to juniors who are gearing up to take the PSAT here in October, and then we'll be taking the SAT in March. All right. So I'm going to start off with just some definitions to make sure that we are all on the same page. The PSAT, and this particular test that's taken in 11th grade, is often referred to as the PSAT/NMSQT, and that's a mouthful, I know. The PSAT is a preliminary or like a practice version of the SAT, and then that other acronym at the end, NMSQT, stands for National Merit Scholarship Qualifying Test. And that is what the PSAT taken in 11th grade can qualify students for the National Merit Scholarship Competition. And so that's why this test is often referred to as the PSAT NMSQT, because when 11th graders take the PSAT in October, it can also qualify them for the National Merit Scholarship Competition. The PSAT that was taken in 10th grade, though the testing format is very similar, that one does not qualify the students for national merit. So you may be thinking, well, we took a PSAT in 10th grade, and that's correct, but that one does not qualify students for the national merit. It is the 11th grade test, the 11th grade PSAT that qualifies students for national merit. So this is an excellent way for an 11th grader to get one last practice for the SAT here at school before taking that official SAT in March.
Get ready for the digital PSAT and MSQT. Here's how it'll work. Before test day, sign into the Blue Book exam app and head to the Practice and Prepare section. You can explore the tools and features of the app and try a few sample questions in the test preview, or take a full-length practice test. Your school will tell you if you're going to test with your own device or a school-managed device. Either way, make sure your device is fully charged. It'll need to stay on for roughly 3 hours. If you're bringing your own device, we recommend you bring a power cord or portable charger. You'll also need a pencil or pen. Scratch paper will be provided. You'll go through a quick check-in process and the test will be downloaded to your device. You'll also have a chance to enter your mobile phone number so you can access the Big Future School mobile app to get your scores delivered right to your phone. The digital PSAT and MSQT has 2 sections, reading and writing, and math. It should take you just over 2 hours to complete, not including breaks. Each section of the test has 2 parts, called modules, and each module is timed separately. You can move back and forth between questions in a module and review your answers until time expires. There will be a break between sections. During the test, you'll have access to a set of tools. On all math questions, you'll find a reference sheet and a calculator. You can also bring an approved calculator. Use the annotation tool to highlight text or leave yourself a note. On multiple choice questions, if you think an answer option is wrong, you can cross it out. And you can mark for review any questions you want to come back to later. Zoom in and out using keyboard shortcuts on laptops or by pinching on tablets. If you have a problem during the test, click the Help icon for troubleshooting tips. And you can always raise your hand to ask the proctor for help too. When the test is over, your answers will be submitted automatically. Wait until you see the Congratulations screen to close your device. A few weeks after the test, we'll share your scores with you through the Big Future School mobile app and connect you with lots of great tools to help you plan for careers, college, financial aid options, and more. For more information, visit psat.org/digital.
So that was just a little overview directly from College Board, and I'm going to kind of go in depth a little bit about the different things that were stated in that video.
Get ready.
Okay. As the video said, the PSAT is now digital. If your student took the PSAT in 10th grade last year, that was actually the first year of the digital test. So the PSAT is going to be given on the student's Chromebook. If you have a student who does not use their district Chromebook, if they have their own device that they use for this test, they will want to make sure that they have the Chromebook that was checked out to them at the beginning of the year. It has the program already loaded onto it and ready to go so that the students can test. Prior to taking the test, the students will have the opportunity to log into Blue Book. Blue Book is the program that they will be using to test. That's going to happen through our U.S. history classes. So in U.S. history, the students are going to have the opportunity to log in, make sure that their Blue Book is all set up, make sure that they know how to access everything, and are comfortable using the features. If your student has dual credit U.S. history, watch your emails. You'll get an email from me, most likely, saying when the dual credit students are going to do their Blue Book setup for the PSAT for U.S. history. So here's a little bit about why we give the PSAT, why it's important, why this test really matters for our students. First and foremost, it's good practice. When these types of tests, our college entrance exams, they are a different format than the STAR EOC tests that the students have gotten used to taking. With the STAR test, they're encouraged to take their time, go slowly through the questions. They've got all day to finish. Well, with college entrance exams like the SAT, it's not like that at all. It's timed, and so it's important that the students are moving quickly through the test. So we want to give them opportunities to practice taking a test in that different manner. When you take the PSAT, the student is going to receive a detailed score report. So it doesn't just say what score you got. It also is going to say what questions you got right or wrong, which areas could use a little more work. And that allows a student to log into Khan Academy, which is directly tied to their PSAT College Board account, and they can actually do practice that correlates to how they did on the PSAT to get them ready for the SAT. The PSAT can also lead to college access, depending on how the student scores, and also at the beginning of the test, there's an opportunity to put in some information about your college interests, what schools you might be interested in, what majors or programs you might be interested in. And then those schools will have the opportunity to start reaching out to your student if they think that your student might be a good match for them. And that gives you access to the college recruitment materials. And then lastly, the PSAT NMSQT, as we said before, is part of the National Merit Scholarship Program. And so if the students score really well on the PSAT, then they can qualify for that National Merit Scholarship Program, or they can qualify for what is called a College Board National Recognition. And you can find more about the College Board National Recognitions on the College Board website. And then the National Merit Program has its own website as well. But a good score on the PSAT can put your student in the running for some of those scholarships and recognitions. So all of the exams in the SAT suite of assessments, this is what College Board calls this series of tests. It starts with the PSAT 9 that they took as a freshman, and then it moves up into that next level of PSAT that they took as a 10th grader, and then the one that they're going to take next month as an 11th grader, and then culminating in the SAT. So each one of them kind of build on their skills as they go. And they all follow the same format and incorporate the same elements. So that repeated practice, us giving the students the test in 9th, 10th, and then 11th, allows the student to build on their skills and grow. So here is the structure of the test. And as the video said, and as I just said, the PSAT is structured the same way as the SAT. So students are going to get that practice so that when they take it in March, they're prepared. The whole test, the test time itself is 2 hours and 14 minutes. And again, that doesn't include the setup time when the students come into class and then the periodic breaks, but just head down, focus, taking the test is 2 hours and 14 minutes. The test is divided into 2 sections. You've got reading and then what's called the reading and writing, sorry. You've got the reading and writing section and then the math. So you'll see the reading and writing section abbreviated as ERW sometimes, but that's just that reading and writing, grammar, reading comprehension section, and then you have a math section. You'll have 64 minutes to answer 54 of the reading and writing questions, and then 70 minutes for the 44 math questions. So it is a fast-paced test, which is different than what they get used to when they do the STAR tests that they've taken since way back in 3rd grade. Because the test is on the computer and not on paper, it allows for what is called adaptive testing. Each section of the PSAT, the reading and writing section, and then the math section is given in 2 modules. So if I'm doing the reading and writing, there's going to be 2 portions of that. And then when I'm doing the math, there's 2 portions of that. How you perform in module 1, that one's kind of a baseline. It's a broad mix of questions at each level. How a student does in module 1 determines what kind of questions they're going to get in module 2. So module 1, broad mix, everyone's kind of getting the same questions. But then module 2 is going to be targeted questions based on how they did in module 1. So if a student comes home and says, you know, the test started off pretty easy, but then it got super hard, that's actually a good thing. It means that they moved up into the higher level for module 2 as they were testing because they did really well in module 1. And then the score is going to be a combination of how they do in each module on each section. The SAT score goes up to 1600. The PSAT score only goes up to a 1520 because it is just a practice, a preliminary test. So it doesn't go all the way to 1600 the way the actual SAT does. All right, so now we're going to talk just a little bit about the 2 test sections. So the first one we're going to look at is the reading and the writing section. It's going to use comprehension, analysis, and reasoning skills, taking a look at what is stated and implied in the text to interpret, evaluate, and integrate information and ideas. These are skills that the students have been learning in their English classes, English 1, English 2, skills that they're starting to build in their English 3 class. They're now using that on the PSAT. They'll use comprehension, vocabulary analysis, and reasoning. They will have some reading passages that they'll do. They're not super long passages. They're kind of, this is a change that was made when the test went to the computer. So instead of having a long passage with a bunch of questions, they're more shorter blocked passages that the students will be reading and doing their comprehension and their vocabulary. There are some questions that will ask them to use their revision and grammar skills to make sure that they know the structure of a sentence and all that, as well as editing in that standard English sentence structure. And so that puts together the entirety of the reading and the writing. We do get a lot of questions though about what's on the math. What kind of math can I expect on the PSAT or even the SAT? You do not have to be in pre-calculus to do well on the PSAT. Being in a higher level math class generally means that your more fundamental math skills are honed, but it's not required. The way that the questions are written, they're expecting you to be taking this as a junior, and the average junior across the United States is in an Algebra 2 trigonometry type class, so that's where the questions kind of max out. So you're going to have some algebra questions. Some of the advanced math questions are going to lean a little towards statistical analysis, some advanced geometry, some advanced algebraic concepts that you may see more in Algebra 2. A lot of problem solving and data analysis, proportions, that type of thing. And then there's going to be geometry. What I do sometimes find is our students who are in a higher math like pre-calculus, and it's been a few years since they did geometry. Sometimes they don't remember all of the geometric proofs and that type of thing. So brushing up on some of the foundational math can be helpful for our students who may have not taken geometry for a few years. Okay, so that leads us into how can you prepare? If you are, our PSAT is about a month away, and if you would like for your student to do a little preparing to get ready, there's a few ways that you can do that. As we talked about, these tests are designed to test what the students are doing in their English and their math classes. Our English and our math teachers are going to be integrating some SAT practice throughout the year to kind of get them ready for that SAT that they'll take in March. But if you want specific PSAT practice, the Blue Book app, which is on all of the district Chromebooks, gives you access to full-length practice tests that you can go into before you do the actual PSAT on October 2nd. You can log into that Blue Book app on the PISD Chromebook and access a full-length test. And then Khan Academy is an excellent resource. It is completely free, and they began as an SAT prep company that now has tons of other subjects. But SAT prep was how they began. They are direct partners with the College Board and SAT. They will link up between your College Board SAT account and your PSAT once you take that, so you can continue the practice into the SAT. It's an excellent resource for getting you ready for the test, and it's completely free. All right, we got one more video clip that's just a couple minutes long that's going to talk about understanding the scores and what comes afterwards.
Congratulations on taking the PSAT and MSQT. It's an important step toward your future after high school, college, career, or wherever your path leads you. There are two ways to get your score report. If you provided a cell phone number when you took the PSAT and MSQT, you can download the Big Future School mobile app, and you'll get a notification in the app telling you your scores are available to view. You can also get a PDF of your score report from your school. If you're viewing your scores in the Big Future School mobile app, the first thing you'll see is your total score, which is a combination of your scores on the reading and writing and math sections. Percentile comparisons show you the percentage of students scoring the same as or lower than you. For example, 75th percentile means your score was the same as or higher than 75% of other students. In the NMSC Selection Index score section, you can see if you meet entry requirements for the National Merit Scholarship Program, an annual academic competition for recognition and scholarships. While you're in the Big Future School mobile app, be sure to check your messages for more information about financial aid, scholarships, and guidance to help you plan for college and explore careers. You also may have the option to hear from nonprofit colleges and scholarship programs by opting in to a feature called Connections. If you don't have access to Big Future School, you can get a PDF of your score report from your school. This PDF will have all of the same information that's in the app, plus more detail about your performance in the 4 reading and writing and 4 math content areas, including the percentage of the section each content area represents. Reviewing your performance in the content areas is a great way to identify where you're already strong and where you may want to practice and improve. Your score report can also help you think about different paths you can take after high school by exploring a sample of growing careers in your state. Use this list to get started. Find careers that match your interests and skills with the Big Future Career Quiz. A QR code at the bottom of the PDF gets you to more personalized tools, including the ability to explore 1,000 careers based on your skills and interests, profiles of over 3,000 colleges, and scholarships that can help you pay for college. As always, if you have a personal College Board account, you can log into studentscores.collegeboard.org to get additional insights about your scores and other resources. Depending on where you live, you'll be able to see more detailed comparisons so you'll understand how your score compares to others in your school, district, state, country, or other students worldwide that took the PSAT and MSQT. In the Knowledge and Skills section, learn more about your strengths and areas you can focus on improving. The Performance Score Band comes from our Skills Insight tool, where you can view skills students at your level are typically able to demonstrate, and example questions typically answered correctly. Want to improve your score? Click this link to go to Skills and Example Questions in the next score band, with answer explanations included. Now that you know how you did and what skills you need to work on, you can take your skills to the next level using free official digital SAT prep on Khan Academy. If you have any questions about your PSAT and MSQT scores or next steps, go to psat.org/scores.
Okay, so that was a bit of information about the scores and how to access and take a look at those scores. For our PSAT administration, which is going to be at the beginning of October, October 2nd, our scores should be ready about October 24th. That's the date that is on the College Board website for when our scores should be ready. I highly recommend that the students have a College Board account set up and that they use a personal email to do that. Let me come on out here. I'm going to show you. So here's what I'm hoping that you all can see this. I didn't just lose everything. But on the College Board website, you should be able to take a look at, the student can sign in and set everything up. Having a personal email is super important because you will want to be able to access your SAT scores even after you have left Plano ISD. So if the student is using their @mypisd, we want them to use a personal email for their College Board account. If you have a student who takes AP classes and has taken an AP test, they already have a College Board account, and this will all link together. So then when you go to take the SAT, those scores will be right there with your PSAT scores, with your AP scores. It'll all be in one place. So as you're applying to colleges and as you are, it'll help you keep track of everything. So have that College Board account set up with a personal email, meaning not their school email address, because that email address will expire as soon as they graduate, and you want to still be able to get access to those files even after you've graduated. If the student puts in a phone number, then they'll also get a text as soon as those scores are available. And we always know, they often know the scores are available before we do because they start getting those texts that their scores are ready. So what does this lead up to? So for our 11th graders, the PSAT is leading into taking the SAT, and that will be on March 5th of 2025. The SAT is covered by the district, so that test will be free of charge. It is administered to all students. We shut down the school for a day and give all of the juniors the SAT. The school day SAT, as it's called, is an official SAT test date. That means that in March, when they come into school and they sit down and take the SAT, they can send those scores to colleges for admissions. So we are getting really close to starting that process that we know you guys have been working towards for a long time. And we want to make sure that the students take every opportunity to do as well as they can so that when they take the SAT in March, they are prepared and ready to go. That is about all that I have for you all. I really just wanted to provide an opportunity to give you a little bit of an overview on what to expect for the PSAT. As I said back at the beginning, through your student's U.S. history class, he or she will be logging in to that Blue Book account to make sure everything is set up. That's where they can double check their email, their passwords, all that kind of stuff, so that when they come in for test day, they're ready to go. It's not the first time that they're looking at it. If you have a student who's been using a personal computer, they'll want to have a PISD Chromebook for test day because the test program is on our PISD Chromebooks and it's all set up, updated, and ready to go. All right, everybody. I think that is it. I haven't seen any questions pop up in the chat or in the Q&A. So I hope that means that it's been pretty straightforward. If you have any questions, I can answer them now. Otherwise, I thank you for your time and logging in with me tonight, and good luck to your juniors on the PSAT.